All right. Happy Monday, everybody. As you're popping on, tell me hi. If you're watching on replay, put it in the comments. Let me know. Hashtag replay whenever you're watching this. We like to see after the fact how many people watch us live and how many people come back and see us after. So let us know. Let's see. Okay, Melissa says sounds good. Let me get comments pulled up. All right, so I thought I had something that I could just kind of mindlessly knit on while we were talking, but it turns out I'm on a pattern row, so I can't. And also I don't want to stop in the middle of a row and not be able to show everybody what I'm working on. So, but as you pop on, tell me hi. Tell me what you're working on. Tell me how your weekend was. Um, I just realized I wrote the wrong date on my notes here. So I'm going to change that while I'm giving everybody a minute to pop on. Today's the 13th, not the 12th. I've been writing the 12th on things all day today. Hi, Linda. Melissa, good. Test comment. Hi, Sherry. Yeah, I'm hoping that that was just like that one time fluke where I couldn't see any comments and then they all showed up after the fact. It was super weird, um, bizarre thing. So, yeah, Holly working on your tracks and 1898 hat. Hold of the mom to deliver unicorn and dragons. Awesome. Those of you who know or heard Holly's saga last week with the cat would be happy to know that the cat is back with Holly's mom. So thankfully that all had a happy ending to it, at least as far as that's concerned. Hi, Mama and Dad. Mary on YouTube is working on the red one hat. Donna working on socks. Bought the yarn from you to make the cowl your daughter wear. Awesome. Nicole working on the gift blanket. Very good. Fran working on the Owasso tee. I haven't heard of that one. I'll have to look at that one up. Yeah, the knit weave cowl is a really fun one, and I like the colors of the one that V was wearing in that photo this weekend. Yeah, we're fortunate to have people that will gift things our direction sometimes. All right. Yeah, Holly, finally. I can't believe it was a week of nonsense for you guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. It's after 7, so welcome to Monday Motivation. Today is January 13th. My name is Kristen. I'm the owner of the Little Yarn Shop located in downtown Saginaw, Michigan, inside the SBRC Marketplace. Marketplace hours are Wednesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Shop hours are 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Wednesday through Saturday. Some of you commented this past week that if you tried to come between 10 and 11, if you came in the doors just off Water Street that have the red awning, so that would be the ones near Cobb King and the bead store. You might actually be able to get in the building, but not through the gates if it's before 11 o'clock. It's kind of a bit of a catch-22 in terms of making it easy for people to get where they want to be, but also not making it too easy for people who aren't supposed to be places to get where they're not supposed to be. So hi Noelle, hi Ariana, hi Jill. So we got hi Pam. We're on Wizard pressed flowers party. Awesome. We had some an issue a couple weeks ago with some people being in areas after hours they shouldn't have been. So they've been trying to kind of crack down on some of that and keep the gates up when the market is closed as a whole. So all that being said, if you come in between if you're coming into the shop before 11 a.m., you're probably best off to come in the door by either the farmer's market, which is the one closest to us. There are stairs there, or the one up in the front by the lobby where the turnstile doors are. Those all are open earlier than 11. So just a kind of a heads up, especially on these cold days, I don't want you having to walk around the building if you don't have to. Let's see, what else? Aunt Jackie, hi. Oh, thank you. Hi, Shar. Joyce working on Pitter Pat scarf modification. Excellent. Very good. Okay, so that's kind of my little short spiel about hours and stuff. As a reminder, Deb does drop in help on Mondays from 6:30 to 8:30. Thursdays are social crafting in the evening from, I don't know, I would say 5 or 6 until 9 or 10, depending on when everybody decides to leave. There's no fee for Thursday nights. You can come work on whatever you're working on. It's just not necessarily a time to get help, but time for socializing. And if you're coming in the evening and you want to get food from some of the vendors, make sure you get here well before 7 in order to get food. Otherwise, Goose Tooth is open too, or you can always bring things in for dinner if you needed to. So Joyce just commented and she put a comment in the Craft Along group that Sock Madness registration opens February 1st through 14th. Sock Madness, if you remember last year, we chatted about it a little bit. Sock Madness is an elimination bracket style competition that runs simultaneously to March Madness, but it's sock knitting. And Joyce has done it the past few years and probably will do it again this year. And wanted to make sure that we told other people about it too. Also, as a reminder, if you're watching on Facebook and things get glitchy or you would rather not watch on Facebook, we are also live on YouTube at the same time. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can watch on Facebook either way. It would help us if you subscribed on YouTube. I may be trying to do more over on the YouTube side of things. I sometimes know it's not quite as convenient for some people, but YouTube makes it a little bit easier to get directly to the people I want to talk to. And it doesn't deal so much with the algorithms like Facebook does. But for the foreseeable future, we will continue to do both. But it does help us with reach and getting other people to know about us. For if you subscribe, if you subscribe on YouTube, that helps us. On Facebook, if you like or get reminders for the events that we create, things like that, that helps us too. Oh, I wanted to talk about the yarn crawls coming up this summer. So I just wrote myself a little note about that. Okay. So what other things do I want to have as reminders? Fiber funds. Don't forget to use your fiber funds before the end of January. Those are good only in January. Last week, I talked a little about different needle sets. We did get an order from Chigu and we got a shipment from our other Notions distributor. So we've got a lot of needle sets in stock. I've got some crochet hook sets we're going to talk about today. But also fiber funds would be a great thing to use to invest in a Swift and or yarn winder. We've got a couple in stock. We've got the heavy duty wool winders from Knitter's Pride. Those will wind up to a pound of yarn. So even if you have really big hanks of yarn, these ball winders can handle it well. And we've got a couple Swifts here as well. So something to think about using your fiber funds for. So the crochet hook sets, might as well talk about those right now since I'm talking about using your fiber funds for things, or just because you want to treat yourself. So I've got 3 different crochet hook sets in. The first one is the Zing Deluxe single-ended crochet hook set. Comes in this pretty little pink case. Zings for the crochet hooks are the same material as the Zing knitting needles. They are aluminum. Different colors for different sizes. So look how pretty these are. Oh, it even has the small ones. I didn't even open this prior to this to look at it. So Knit Pro, Knitter's Pride. I'm still gonna get tripped up a little bit on that, but here is the hook set. Look how pretty those are. So you see the different color on here? It's not a join in the metal. It's just a coating that's on here in one color versus another. So there's not any sort of snag or anything at one end or the other. They're super smooth, very pretty. And this goes hook size in millimeters, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, and 6 millimeters. US sizes 2 millimeter, 2.5, 3, E, J, E, G, 7, H, I, and J. I used to only, when I was crocheting, go by the letter, and it's crazy how even I think I have like 5 size H hooks in my little turnstile or turntable, I don't know, whatever, organizing thing on the table. And I don't think they're all the same millimeters. So just like with knitting needles, millimeters is a pretty straightforward way to gauge things. So we've got this set in. These are $39.99 for the set of whatever that is, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 crochet hooks in this pretty little case. Then we've got the Knit Pro Oasis starter set. This is so pretty. 7 interchangeable crochet hook tips along with other accessories. So it comes in this really pretty velvety case with a snap closure on it. And it comes with, there's not really a place to put this little grippy, but they just kind of have it set in there. So it comes with this rose gold tape measure, scissors, a whole bunch of little hairpin stitch markers, and then a wooden handle and all the different hooks to screw into it. So I'll just pull one of these out. Everything is threaded. They screw in there, so you get a nice big ergonomic wood handle with your hook. There is, the millimeter is printed right on the metal of each of the hooks. Screwed in there. Now I can't get it. There we go. Can't get it back out again. This set is beautiful. I was kind of curious to see what it would look like, so I ordered a couple of them, and I'm really happy I did. I think they're gorgeous, and everything. The packaging is half the fun, right? And this little set here is just, it's gorgeous. The scissors are beautiful. I mean, you can't go wrong with a rose gold tape measure too, right? Everything fits in there nicely. Snaps up. Well, it's like a magnetic snap in these little cases. So these are $59.99. These would be a great gift for somebody too. Let's see, what does it say about it? Newest and most innovative crochet artist tool. Hook tip is made of rose gold colored aluminum. Reverse end securely screws into a smooth wooden handle shaped for hand comfort. Set of 7 rose gold hook tips and other accessories. Crochet sizes 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, and 5. And like I said, the scissors, tape measure, 10 locking stitch markers, and a gripper. Yes, Julie deserves these. Absolutely. And then the last set that we got in is the Knit Pro Ginger Grande Interchangeable Tunisian Crochet Hook Set. So the beauty of a set like this is that you can use the hooks just as standard crochet hooks, or they come with the cords and stoppers to make them a Tunisian crochet hook set. Any of the gingers, whether it's the needles or the hooks, are just absolutely gorgeous. Look at that wood. They are beautiful. So wood finished. The ends down here are metal, but their joins are really, really smooth. All the millimeters are marked right on them. It comes in this case, very similar to the case that their deluxe interchangeable needle set comes in. So this case folds over backwards and doubles as a magnetic pattern holder. These little things loop around and keep it open. All of the hooks. Then you've got on this end all the accessories. So it comes with, this one comes with metal stitch markers, stoppers, connectors, and a bunch of cords. I think that's it. It's just a whole bunch of stoppers. And then this is just a really beautiful case. Knit Pro does a really good job with their cases too. So this is the interchangeable Tunisian crochet hook set. This has millimeter sizes 3.5 all the way up to 12. 3.5, 3.75, 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, 6, 6.5, 8, 9, 10, and 12. 4 cables, 8 end caps, 4 cable keys, 1 set of connectors, magnets, and a pen. And this set is $152. So that's a lot. That's a lot of hooks in there too. They are beautiful. I just can't get over, like, especially look at this, like the big ones. Like the wood grain is just, ugh, it's like a work of art. Okay, so that's the new crochet hook sets that we got in. Other new things to the shop. If you've been in the last week or so, you may have seen this, but we haven't talked about it yet. Dreaming Colors Pop-Up Club. Oh, maybe I did talk about it last week. Did I talk about it last week? I don't have it on my, I don't have it on my notes, so I don't know if I talked about this last week or not. Just in case, Melissa's saying no. Okay. So Snowy Twilight is the pop-up club color for January. This is a beautiful, like a medium blue with purple tones to it. It's just so beautiful. We have 3 skeins left out of the 10 that we got. If you are part of the club, we've got your set aside already, unless you've picked it up, and then we don't. But they're $36 a piece. It's smushy cashmere. So 70, 20, 10, 70% superwash merino, 20% cashmere, 10% nylon, fingering weight, 4 ounces, 400 yards. They are, look at how beautiful they are. Obviously, it is hand-dyed yarns, and you can tell, especially on the Facebook feed, I can see it a little more obviously. Like this one has more blue tones. This one has more purple tones in there. It just depends on where they were in the dye pot. But look at how gorgeous. So Snowy Twilight, we've got 3 of those left, and then those will be gone. Melissa, I thought you might. So as always, if there are things that you see that I talk about, and you're interested, it's something that you want, put it in the comments, let us know. We will set that aside for you. Just let us know how many you want and whether you want us to ship to you or if you're going to pick it up here in the store. I'm shedding, you guys. My hair is everywhere. Okay, so let's talk about knitting. I finished another thing, and it's not as bad as I thought. So I finished my deep winter coat. Upside is it fits me. Downside is it doesn't fit me like a coat. Will it end up with my kiddo? Probably eventually, yes. But it does fit me, so I can wear it. And so blocking helped. It went from 14.5 stitches over 4 inches to 14 stitches over 4 inches, which is still smaller than it calls for. It calls for 12 stitches over 4 inches. So I will hold it up and then I will wear it and show it to you. But here's the back and the sleeves. So you can see blocking makes such a difference. Kind of relaxes everything. I got that it's got this big old shawl collar with lots of short rows. The cable's up the front. I did end up doing the sewn bind off on both sleeves. The one sleeve I had done just as a regular bind off, but I went back, did the sewn bind off on that, did the sewn bind off on the collar as well. I think it just gives a good stretch to it. So I don't know if you remember last week, I had to kind of fight to even get my arms in the sleeves, and now it fits. I don't have the greatest shirt to have on under this, but I think it's still, I, I say it fits me pretty well. So maybe the kid won't get it. Maybe I will keep it, but there's the sleeve design. It's beautiful seed stitch inside the big cables. The same with this. I love it. It kind of looks like pretzels or DNA, but some of it has seed stitch inside and some of it doesn't, which I think is really neat. And I like the fact that it's not like a symmetrical cable here where, you know, these little guys are offset on things. But I like the big shawl collar on it. It's not meant to be, it doesn't have any buttonholes or anything. It does have a belt to go with it if I so wanted to. The belt's supposed to be a little bit longer, but I wasn't going to open another skein of yarn just to do a couple inches on a belt. So it's plenty long, but there's the back. I am, I am really, I'm really happy with how it looks. I'm actually not terribly unhappy with the way it fits. I think had I not known it was supposed to be a bigger layering coat, I would have been more than happy. I would be more than happy with how it fits. So I may just end up keeping it. It definitely softened up some. In trying it on before I blocked it, it was a little bit picky. It's softened up quite a bit. I like the length of the sleeves. I'm really happy with it, you guys. So this size was supposed to be the 40, I think, or the 30. I think it was supposed to be the 40. And it took 7 skeins of, what did I use? The Plymouth Hardy Homestead Tweed. So this is chunky 90% Peruvian Highland wool, 10% Donegal, 100 grams, 123 yards. They're $13.50 a skein. This one took 7 skeins to get this done. And it is a squishy yarn. It's gonna be a cozy sweater. I just have to have the right thing to wear under it, and you could add some of those frog closure things. Yes, I could. You know what though? I'm okay with it just being kind of an open front cardigan, or wear with you know, a cami or something under it would be plenty. And that, like the shoulder, the way you pick up on the shoulder, the construction of it is really cool. I do like the wool and pine patterns. Sometimes there was something that I was working on with it that I had a question, but I went to their video and it explained what I was questioning on it. And so I'm really happy with I'm really happy with how it turned out. I'm happy with the way the ratio in which they have you pick up for your collar. That was kind of magic too. So it tells you to pick up 6 for every 10 stitches, which basic math would be 3 for every 5 stitches. So essentially for every 5 rows. So every 5 rows, you need to pick up 3 stitches. So what I ended up doing was picking up and knitting 2, skipping 1, picking up and knitting 1, skipping 1, all the way around. As I did that, when I got to the point up here where where there were some increases from the shoulders, I kind of marked, when I was picking up on one side, I kind of marked a point that, so when I was going around to the other side, I knew I had the same number of stitches from the bottom to this point, and then the same number of stitches above. And somehow the knitting gods were on my side, and the first try I had the exact number of stitches they called for, and I had the same number of stitches on each side. So I it was knitting magic. It was just meant to be. Maybe the knitting gods knew at that point I was like a little bit frustrated with the sweater, but wanted to just finish it. So, but it's done. I really am happy with it. I would recommend this pattern to anybody who loves cables and loves a little bit of a challenge. I I really did enjoy it. I'm gonna take it off though because it is warm in here. Um, if you were in this week, you may have noticed that it's been a little toasty in here this week. It's cold in the hallway. It's cold outside, but it's toasty in here. So if you come in to hang out with us or shop with us, even dress in layers so you can peel a layer or two off when you come in. So that's what I finished. I said last week, and I got some opinions about the cowl to puss that I was going to start. So I didn't have the pattern printed off yet, but I did print off some of the photos just so you can see what it looks like. So here is the photos of the cowl to puss. So it's designed as a hooded cowl. So it's got a hood and then this big scrunchy cowl with it. But she has a video on that shows how to fold that cowl up underneath so you can use it as, and turn it into like a balaclava, which I think is really, really cool. As you can see in this picture, clearly there is brioche. She does have an option. The designer is Laura Nelkin. She does have an option for ribbing instead of the brioche if you don't want to do the brioche. So far, though, because she did this as a mystery knit along, she has really good tutorial videos on the techniques. I've not gotten into her brioche ones yet. I'm not that far, but I finished section 1 or clue 1, and I just started section or clue 2. So I went with the rust and the blue. Look at how pretty that looks. I'm really, really happy with it. My only little hesitation is it's kind of similar to the colors in her photo, and I try to not do that. I try to kind of get something that's different than the photo pictures, but this seemed to have a pretty overwhelming majority response from people that these were the colors that I should do, or both. But Melissa might have found another one for me to do with the other colors. So this is the front of the hood, the top of the hood. Oops, there we go. You do start with a provisional cast on, then you're knitting, you're using almost, well, you are kind of using magic loop while you're going back and forth until you get to a point, because it's hard to turn around this little corner here. Just on circular needles as is. So you're doing kind of a modified magic loop, but her first tutorial video is very well done and explains and shows exactly how she wants you to do that. And she calls these little guys are sucker stitches because it's like supposed to be octopus themed. So yeah, that's what I have so far is essentially the top of the hood. It's going to be pretty cool when it's done. So I've started clue 2. That is kind of a continuation of clue 1, just a little bit simpler. And so I wanted to talk about colors available if this project is something that you are interested in. So the pattern is a $10 pattern available on Ravelry. She just updated it so it's more consolidated, I think, and has had a few corrections to do now that the knit along is done. But it takes 2 skeins of DK weight yarn, 1 in each color. So the colors that I used are a skein of the Ridiculous Joxer DK in West Coast and a skein of Variations DK in Burnt Amber. I've got 1 set of this left, and that would be whatever, 28 plus 23. So 51. $51 plus tax, plus the pattern for those 2. One that is very similar but slightly different is a skein of Beach Vibes. It's got a little bit more blue versus teal. So there's West Coast and there's Beach Vibes. So West Coast is a little more teal. Beach Vibes is a little more blue, but they both have that like that rusty color in there. Either one would look good. So there's Beach Vibes with the amber burnt. What did I say it was? Burnt amber. I've got one set of those too. Pam, there is brioche in the cowl part of it, but she has an alternative if you don't want to do the brioche to do ribbing. I believe it's stripes. Um, let me see what she says about it. One, two, 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 three, brioche style, complex puss. Or ribbing style. So it'd be a striped rib if you didn't want to do the brioche, but she's got options for both. And everything is written and charted. So you could go by the words, you could go by the charts, either way. This was the other set that I had pulled as an option for those of you who like that. I still think it would be a beautiful choice. This would be raspberry tourmaline and smoky diamond. Both of these are variations DK. So that would be $46. And you need just one skein of each. I've got two sets of this available, the raspberry and gray. Then I thought this one was beautiful. We don't use the ridiculous Joxer DK enough, so I kind of pulled a lot of that because I think it's really fun. It's beautiful. Her yarns are just beautifully dyed. Peace of Mind, which is like peachy tones, oranges, purples, yellows, golds, blues, and we've got two skeins left of this honey lavender, which is one of the Explore the Rainbow colors from Knitted Wit from last year. And I think those two would just be gorgeous together. This pattern really does lend itself to either a variegated and a solid or two solids or tonal colors. I think those would just be absolutely beautiful. So we've got two sets of that available, the Peace of Mind and Honey Lavender. And then the last combo I pulled is these two beauties. Lots of blues going on, but that's okay. I'm kind of in a blue phase, I think. So this is Arctic Bliss, again, Joxer DK from Ridiculous, and Zealous Zircon from Variations DK. So, this has with that bright blue in there. There are going to be points where you might lose a couple of your stitches where the colors are very similar. And you can see that a little bit in this because there is some of that rust color in the contrast color, but it's not overly, it doesn't take away from the pattern at all. So yeah, like you can see here or here, there are little blips where that rust color is in the contrast yarn, but you still see the overall patterning on things. So I don't get too concerned when I see some of that in there. I think there's enough contrast with these two that it would be absolutely gorgeous. This blue is just so vibrant. It would just pop against that. Oriana, do you mean the first set that's the same as what I'm using? The West Coast and the, whatever that one is, the rust color, the burnt amber. So those are different options for the Cowltopus. It's funny, she says in one of her videos, she does the same thing that sometimes she calls it octocowl and Melissa, there is no stranded. There's not a point that you're doing two colors at once. There is a little bit, I guess you would say it's mosaics, little simple slip stitches in this first clue where it's like every other stitch. So that's what you see there in those three sections. One of the things I did notice that I may not have caught when I was watching her video was that she says for clue one, so it's charted on one side, like I said, and then written on the other. And down here on the chart and here where it's written, it shows a 16 row repeat. I would not have caught the fact that right here in the middle, it says work this section 3 times and probably would have just done it once and gone on to the next section. She mentions that in her pattern, in her video. So, that made me go back and look at this again. And if you look at the top, it does say 50 rows, which if you knit 1 through 16, obviously you're not going to get 50 rows. Plus you have 2 setup rows. So, that was the only thing so far that kind of tripped me up a little bit. And it didn't really trip me up because I watched her video, and had I actually paid attention to what the pattern said, I probably wouldn't have had an issue. So there are eyelets also, Melissa, in here, this little feather and fan, there are some eyelets too. So there's some slip stitches, but then there are eyelets. You can kind of see that a little bit. This is one of those where blocking is going to help. It's going to make it all nice and open and beautiful. But I'm loving it so far. Okay, Oriana, we will set those aside for you. I posted a graphic earlier today about the granny squares and books. So this is something that I've seen. It's kind of taking the place of a lot of temperature blankets for people. I think I'm seeing a lot more about the book granny squares than I am about temperature blankets. It seems like, or maybe that's just what's showing up on my feed. But so there's this concept now that people are doing where they're making a granny square to represent the colors in the book covers for the books that they read throughout the year. So whether that's 1 book a month, 5 books a month, whatever, I think it's a really fun idea to bring either the book or a photo of the cover of the book in wholesome colors. Vintage would work really well for that. Rios would work really well for that. It seems like most people are doing kind of a worsted medium weight. And it'd be kind of fun. And if you don't have a specific project in mind, it's a cool way to just make a bunch of granny squares and then decide what you want to do with them at the end of the year, depending on how many you end up with. You could make a vest, you could make a sweater, you could make a scarf, you could make a shawl, you can make a blanket. First time viewer on YouTube, Donna found us. Awesome. Donna, welcome. Thank you. Yes. If you're in the area sometime you have to come in and check out all the yarn. This is just a little segment, but every week I'm kind of in a different place, so you get a different view of yarns around here. So I think the granny square book idea is a pretty neat concept. I think I was thinking about it a little bit, like how would I feel about that? Because obviously you're not going to pick your books for the year based on their color scheme to keep things similar. So there might be a wide variance between the blocks and the types of yarn, the colors of yarn that you're using. But I think you could edge each of them in the same color to kind of carry things forward. Lots of different things that you could do with it. You could have kind of a neutral theme for centers and borders and then put in colors as a nod to each of the books. So lots you can do with that. And crocheters tend to be pretty freeform, creative thinkers. So I'm sure a lot of crocheters would come up with some really cool ideas for that. So I just wanted to share that and mention it. What else? Oh, so I was going to talk about yarn crawl. So we got the dates for, let me see, how can I get to my calendar from here? For the Heartland Yarn Adventure for sure. I think we haven't confirmed the dates for the Middle of the Mitten Yarn Crawl, but the Heartland Yarn Adventure will be going July 25th through August 3rd. So it starts on a Friday and goes to the following Sunday. We will be open every day for that. The Heartland Yarn Adventure, if you don't know about it, is a yarn crawl that includes Michigan, Ohio, Kentucky, and part of Indiana. And last year there were 80 some shops participating. I don't know what that number is going to be this year. They just put something out yesterday for shops to start registering and confirming that they will be participating. You don't have to go to all of them. You don't have to go to more than one of them if you don't want, but everybody qualifies for prizes once you get a passport. So the more shops you go to, the more entries you get, but there aren't different levels of prizes. Everybody is entered into drawings for all of the prizes. So we love that one. It's very well organized. If nothing else, you get the passport for $5 and it gives you a great reference to have for yarn stores in the 4-state area. Those will start to be on yeah, Holly and Willie, you guys need to do it. Happy retirement. Um, what was I going to say about it? Oh, pre-orders will be available soon on the website and in the store. So it's going to be $5 for the passport, just like it was last year. You'll get stamps, and I don't know if they're doing anything else this year or not, but yeah, so those dates, July 25th through August 3rd, those are for sure set. LYS Day is April 26th. So that's something that's coming up in the what seems like the distant future, but may not be the distant future. And potentially the Middle of the Mitten Yarn Crawl is going to be in June, but like I said, those were the dates that were floated out to us were kind of a preliminary thing, so I'm not gonna say too much on that one yet, but there is going to be more of a gap between the two yarn crawls this year, which will be better for everybody. Hopefully better for your budgets. It'll give us a little bit more time to recover between the two. And yeah, we enjoyed having both yarn crawls last year. We had a really good time. All right. I did post a picture earlier today of a bunch of new stitch stoppers we got. I put in the comments that we have at least 2 of most of them. That is true, except for the cat mom and dog mom ones. All of the cat mom and dog mom point protectors or stitch stoppers, we only have 1 set of each of those. So if those are things you like to collect, because who doesn't, because they're fun. And now we're getting the seasonal ones. I've got some Easter, I've got some St. Patty's Day. Valentine's Day was supposed to be coming to me, but I don't know. Those somewhere are, they haven't gotten to me yet. So I don't know. I may not have Valentine's ones. I'm not sure. The purple nose with the carrot. Okay. The gnomes, I know I have at least 3 sets of each. So, the Easter gnomes anyways. The St. Patty's Day gnomes, I think I only have 1 set left of those. Gnomes are so stinking cute. All right. That's everything I have to talk about today, you guys. I feel like I went over a bunch of stuff. As a reminder, if you came on late, these are recorded and posted up on both Facebook and YouTube after the fact, so you can go back and watch them. We do try to keep an eye on the comments, and so if there are things you have questions on or things that you want and you're watching on a replay, put it in the comments. It would be helpful if you tag either Melissa, myself, or the shop in your comments, so we for sure see it, but I really do try and pay attention to that as much as possible. So I hope everybody has a good night and a good week. I heard the roads are getting a little slick out there, so if you have anywhere to go tonight, be careful. I will be careful on my way home. We'll just take it slow. We are in Michigan and this is what we're gonna have to deal with probably for the next couple months. But we don't have earthquakes. We don't have hurricanes. We tend to not have too many wildfires. So I'm counting my blessings that we live where we live without a lot of natural disasters here. Others are not so lucky. So again, have a good week. And if we don't see you here in the shop, I will see everybody back here next Monday at 7 p.m. So we'll see you all soon.